We're here this morning at Annapolis High School for the Anne Arundel County Veterans Expo. This is a wonderful event. It's designed to connect veterans to the resources they need for career advancement, writing resumes, resources like health and human services, mental health counseling, whatever they need. It's all here and available to our many veterans in Anne Arundel County. Anne Arundel County has a critical role to play in America's national security because we are host to so many important national defense assets, like Fort Meade, the third largest Army base in the United States, NSA, critically important, the Coast Guard Yard, hundreds of defense contractors, and of course, the United States Naval Academy. With all of those installations of national importance come veterans, and that's why 50,000 veterans call Anne Arundel County home. We believe that Anne Arundel County government has a responsibility to help these veterans thrive and survive and prosper here in Anne Arundel County, and that's what the Veterans Expo is all about, connecting them to the resources they need to thrive and survive and be happy for the remainder of their lives. Thank you for your service to all our veterans.
I'm a graduate of the class of 1972 of the U.S. Naval Academy, and I went on to serve 22 years in the surface aspect of the Navy, both ashore and afloat.
I'm a Navy Public Affairs officer, retired. I had over seven years of overseas duty, including London, Stuttgart, Germany, and the embassy in Manila. The rest of the time was interesting assignments in the United States. I was selected to be the first public affairs officer to teach at the Naval Academy. So I did that in 1973 to 1976. And that enabled me to learn a lot more about the military, but especially about the Naval Academy. I'm not a Naval Academy graduate, so it was a high honor to get selected to teach at the Academy.
I'm a retired Navy Seabee. I did 27 years in the Navy as a Seabee and loved every minute of it. I was in the Navy, but it looked like I was in the Army because I was wearing Army uniform, but I figured I had it just about right. I called myself a dirt sailor, but we did construction in support of contingency operations.
The most important thing for us from the county perspective is trying to provide the resource so that the veterans of Anne Arundel County, which are over 53,000, have somewhere to look to see where to go to get information. We as a county, we don't necessarily provide that, but we want to be the conduit whereas we put that veteran in touch with the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs, the state, the Vet Center in Annapolis, or that area that where their expertise will apply to the challenge that veteran's facing. Like today, we have a Korean War veteran here who's having some issues, and we are able to hook him up with a VA counselor, and hopefully he's going to be set in the right direction.
Well, I joined about 2 years ago, and I did it because I'm a veteran, and I wanted to help out, and we were looking for some good things to do, and this is one of them, and this is probably the biggest thing we've done since I joined, and it's great to be part of this team.
It's a bipartisan effort to help people throughout the county, and I think we're doing a very good job with that so far.
Many of the veterans from the Korean War area and even Vietnam, my era, they're not always aware of everything that's out there that could be assisting them in whatever their needs may be.
We have a number of people here from the various VA and DAV, American Legion, any organization that you can name in Anne Arundel County has a delegate here today working with people.
Anne Arundel's home to a lot of key federal installations, both military and Department of Defense, non-military. And so it's just sort of it's a natural gathering place for those that serve, and then we offer a great quality life in Anne Arundel County. There's a lot to offer, so they just seem to migrate here. Fort Meade most likely has a family affairs council. As a matter of fact, the transition assistance program for those getting out and moving on, that's offered at Meade, and the USO is there, which is always a big outreach. George Matthews, who's a member of our commission, serves with us and helps us make those links at Fort Meade.
Locate your DD-214 and put it where it can be found. Today is another example what can happen when things go wrong. On the Eastern Shore in Beulah, we have a cemetery, one of our 5. There was supposed to be a funeral yesterday. It was scheduled at the funeral home. Family was all ready, the church was ready, but we could not let it proceed. Why? They didn't have the 214. If you cannot prove to me, and as cruel and as bad as this sounds, if you cannot prove to me that that veteran deserves to be buried in that cemetery or any of the other 4 in the state, I will not let it proceed. I'm the final word on that, and I stand by that. You will not be allowed in to join your brothers and sisters and other family members if you cannot prove that you've earned that right. So please, locate your 214s, put them where a family member can find them, and that goes for spouses too, because dependent children and spouses are also permitted in our veterans cemeteries.
The DD-214 is the document that shows that you were in the military. You must have 180 days of service in the military to get a DD-214. And this is the magic key which opens your benefits at the Veterans Administration, both at the state level and at the federal level. Get in contact with one of the veterans organizations. They will help you do the paperwork to get the form.
Build on this next year, make this even bigger and better, and support the veterans here in Anne Arundel County.